Hello and welcome to Chatz, the television podcast season 18, Toon Couch, Toon Madness. The show where two best friends try to determine what the best cartoons are in a bracket format. My name is Allen, and I'm joined by the barber of Seville themselves. It's Magellan.
Can you hum a few bars of that tune so I know how it goes?
Ba-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum,
Oh yeah, ba-da-dum, ba-da-dum. That song?
Yeah.
No, I'm singing a different song now. Ba-da-da. Anyway, I'm gonna snip your little head. When you were introducing Toon Couch, Toon Madness, I wanted so badly to take out a mallet and bonk myself on the head with it, and for cartoon logic to apply. I wish this was possible, that we could sort of be in like Roger Rabbit physics, um, but that is not the case. Unfortunately, we are our normal selves, but we will be watching a lot of cartoons and animated shows this season, which is exciting.
Hopefully by the end of the season we do develop cartoon logic and we can like reach through the video frame and pull each other's hair and like stretch our clothes so really big.
Great. Oh, I would love like, that so much.
Music plays whenever we walk. Yeah. We got it. We're gonna like slowly develop a sickness, a toon sickness. So this is Toon Couch, Toon Madness. If folks aren't familiar with Chatz Television Podcast, we're a TV podcast that covers TV shows like a book club with a focus on comedy and criticism. And I'm Alan, and that's Magellan. As I said, we're best friends. That's the gimmick. Previously, we did a bunch of shows. We've done called classic TV shows like Freaks and Geeks and Avatar: The Last Airbender and The OA and The Newsroom and Farscape, and we cover Star Trek every month. But for now, we are bringing back a recent format, Couch Madness, similar to March Madness. We love renaming things, where we do brackets. We watch at least one, if maybe a couple episodes of something, and watch another couple episodes of something else, and then say, which one of these is better? And we narrow that down, and we pick the best of that category. So we previously did that to find the season where we covered Xena Warrior Princess, which was one of our very well-regarded seasons, and I highly recommend you check that one out on the feed. But for now, we have been in a cartoony mood. The world is silly. We want to return to the world of our childhoods. And we have a lot of shows to discuss. And so this episode, which as you can see by your feed titles, is episode 0 of Toon Couch, Toon Madness. And the purpose of this episode will be to narrow down what it is we're trying to do here. What is the project of TCTM, or Toon Couch, Toon Madness? We're going to be asking each other a couple of questions, talking in general, maybe hyping up a couple of the shows that are on our lists, where we sourced those lists from, and laying out what the next couple of weeks, months, however long of TCTM are going to look. Magellan, do you want to start telling people about what the plan is?
Yeah, I would love to. So our first Couch Madness season was I was gonna say more traditional, but it's like, with what tradition? I don't know.
Yeah, we made the sandwich.
Right, we made the sandwich. This is a kitten, by the way. You may hear some screaming. My partner and I foster kittens, so I'm in the room where that happens. The room where that happens. Anyway, our first Couch Madness season, we did it. It was season 16. Oh, we're gonna make a bracket of 16. Amazing. It was a single elimination bracket. We populated it by giving listeners a big list of just 32 shows, whatever. They were kind of random, like, hashtag random, hashtag quirky, hashtag doggo, that kind of thing. And then listeners told us which ones they were most interested in. Single elimination bracket. This time it's going to be a little different. We talked about this idea in a bonus episode on our Patreon, patreon.com/chatzpod. We're going to do a division structure that feeds into a bracket. So we'll have groups of cartoons that are in some way related to each other. Maybe they share a genre. Maybe they could have been seen on the same animation block. Maybe they're by a group of creators or one inspired another, whatever the thing is, the connective tissue that makes the shows go together. We'll consider that division, and we'll sort of discuss today what that looks like. And then those will feed into a single elimination bracket later in the season. So structure is going to be a bit different. We have currently a big list of 64 shows that were suggested by our listeners in our Discord, which you can get access to by joining the Patreon. And listener friend of the podcast, Emrys, compiled all of these suggestions into a spreadsheet for us. So that's part of what's going on here. We have this big spreadsheet of 64 possible shows. And we're going to decide what we're going to do with those because there's a lot of great things on here. There might be some things that aren't on here that you and I have talked about being interested in discussing. And so how does that work? But first, we're going to kind of set the framework of the season and think about it abstractly so that we know, okay, how many shows do we actually have the interest or the bandwidth to look at? How much time are we going to be spending in the division structure? And that, I think, will guide how we pick things from that larger list in a moment. So I came up with essentially this question of like, how much season are we going to have? There's kind of like 13 little dials we could tune here. And we don't need to make decisions about all of these. I'm going to list them. And then, Alan, I want you to tell me where you feel either like, I know an answer to that, I think we should have an answer to that, or like, I don't think we need to answer that, or that's not that important to me. And then we'll go from there. Okay? So here are the things when you're making a season of a TV podcast where you're going to be doing this very particular structure for all of you out there who are going to copycat this season. Here are the dials you can tune. First off is how many minutes of TV do we want to be watching per week as people who are making a podcast? Related to that, how many episodes of TV do we want to be watching? Because it's one thing to be like, I want to watch 60 minutes of TV, but there is something a little different when that's like one 60-minute episode versus two 30-minute versus four 15-minute. Those are kind of different things. How many episodes of a show do we want to consider at a time? Previously, in the previous Couch Madness season, it was one episode v one episode. Or one, I think that's what it was. And then we kind of changed it to like episodes that aired on the same night. But with cartoons, there's variable episode lengths, so that might be different. How many shows do we want to be talking about in the same episode of our podcast? How many shows do we want to be in a division together? How many chances do we want each show to have within its division? I think, as I was saying, previous Couch Madness, it was single elimination. So shows had shots until they lost. But we might want to do, like, there's multiple matchups in the division. Maybe there's Swiss rounds where the better you do, the changes who you're up against the next time. How many divisions do we want there to be? How much time total do we want to be in this kind of like division process? How many total shows do we want to be considering across the whole season? How many shows do we want to end up on that bracket? How much time do we want to be spending in the bracket process? And how many weeks total do we want the entire Toon Couch Toon Madness season to be? So those are all questions we could possibly answer. Alan, do any of those strike you as either you feel confident that you know what you would want, or it's like, let's talk about that?
Yeah, I think how many minutes of TV do we want to watch per week right out the jump?
Yep.
Because a lot of like the Couch Madness format is about both giving the people what they want and like making the show the way we want it exactly to work. and like not tying ourselves to a format. So I feel pretty comfortable saying like would be somewhere between 60 and 120 minutes a week, because we currently cover about 90 minutes of television a week. Sometimes more, but I think for the sake of like covering a lot of shows, we allow ourselves to either go under or over that number based on like how long the different shows are, because we have like 15-minute shows, we have 30-minute shows. I don't think we have anything in here over 30-minute episodes.
I don't think so.
I was thinking about, actually no, I was thinking about BoJack Horseman, for example, just like long form adult animated, and I was like, I don't even think those are that long, unless I'm forgetting. It's been a while since I watched it, but yeah, I think 60, actually probably 60 to 90 is more realistic.
Okay.
I don't want to go over our usual amount. I think that is realistic and allows us to cover a lot of television.
Yeah, I like 60 to 90. I'm not against 120, but we'll say 60 to 90 now, and then we'll see if other decisions lead us elsewhere. So do you think it's fair when we're kind of matching shows up like to like, we're matching up number of episodes rather than number of minutes? Or do you think we should be considering number of minutes?
I kind of think it should be number of episodes, because episodes are stories. Yeah. And it's kind of like, well, how many stories? Because again, like SpongeBob would air 2 episodes, and that's an episode of TV. Like a 30-minute episode of SpongeBob is 2 15-minute segments, maybe even less.
Yeah.
So it's kind of number of stories, I think.
Okay, so if there's a show that airs like SpongeBob 2 15-minute segments that are like separately titled and credited, we would consider that 2 episodes for the purpose of this season.
I'm not married to that idea. I'm engaged.
Or maybe it's like engaged. Yeah, maybe it's like how it's listed. I mean, let's look like...
Right. IMDb would list that as blank/blank as 1 episode.
Yeah, so I think if they're listed that way, that's 1 episode.
Yeah.
In my mind.
Fair.
Because I think there is some consideration artistically to like you think about Animaniacs, for example, right? Which is like a variety show.
Yeah.
Where they're going to have stories from their different characters throughout the episode, but that's kind of part of the package. So I think if episodes were aired together, they're one thing. But maybe if they're short 15-minute episodes that were aired separately or released separately or listed separately, like we just did a pilot chats on Adventure Time on our Patreon, and those episodes were listed separately, right?
Blank/blank, you mean? Let me see.
Like Adventure Time episodes, I think, are 15-minute individual things.
True. That's true.
So I think that would be a unit. And like a SpongeBob episode that has 2 stories in it or 3 stories in it would be a unit because it was aired that way.
Yeah, I think that makes more sense. You were meant to watch these in like chunks.
Okay. And we'll obviously have to make like case by case judgments about that. Yeah. But I think the like to like comparison is episodes, whatever we deem an episode to be.
Okay.
So in 60 to 90 minutes, 15, the max of like 15 minutes would be 6 of them, and the max of 30 would be 3 of them. So how many shows should we be comparing every week? Like 3, 4?
Yeah, I'm thinking 4 feels good.
Okay. And like 1 episode per show?
Yeah, at least to start. Maybe
Okay.
we can always, like you said, edit that format as we go deeper. Especially when it comes to the anime bracket, like 2 maximum gets the job done. I don't need more than 2 episodes of an anime to know if I need it.
Right.
If I like it, I mean. So I would say.
Okay, great. Yeah. So we're watching, so that kind of decides a few things. 60 to 90 minutes of TV per week. We're watching, considering 4 different shows, 1 episode apiece. So then the question is, if we expand out to divisions, right?
Mm-hmm.
In an episode, we're watching 4 shows. Great. How many? It sounds like you're saying within a division, a show should get 2 chances.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't know. That's what's tricky to me, because I think a lot of animated shows. Obviously, there's the whole like they find their footing after blank episodes, and we can take that into consideration. Like, do we cover the first episode or do we cover the best episodes for certain shows? Because these days, if you were to like watch, SpongeBob, you could say I want to stay in the first 3 seasons and then stop. I wouldn't hit random, or like Futurama, like I would hit, I would go in that first pre-cancellation block. So I'm trying to think how that makes sense with how many chances you give a show. Do you have any particular feeling about that?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, we run into this with pilot chats on our Patreon, which is where we watch the first episodes of shows to discuss if we should cover them or not. And we get kind of responses or comments sometimes that are like, well, the pilot, is not the best episode, or it's not the most representative episode, which is fair. That's certainly true for a lot of shows that we've even covered on the main feed. But it's sort of like, well, what is a fair system, right? Because if we just say, okay, we'll watch like the best that a show has to offer, how are we deciding that exactly? How are we deciding that consistently? I often find also like the fan agreed upon best episodes, they tend to be so good because you have the context for them watching the show.
Or they break the format of the regular context.
Right. So it's like, is that a show's best foot forward to be like, oh, well, you have to watch this episode from season 5 where it like really hits you in the feels, and you're like, but I don't know any of these people, so it doesn't resonate for me.
I think that for fairness and for evenness, it still has to be first episodes. Because when you make an animated show, it's even more important to like sell a pilot than it is for a lot of live action, because you're getting a team to help you. You are like bringing a produced animated thing and then saying, I would like a team to help me continue making this. So
yeah, and I think we welcome people being like, oh,
this show,
here's how this show changes. Like we want that insight, but like you're saying, we want to see it like from its inception as a comparison point.
For sure.
So then the question is like, yeah, if we're in these divisions where we're looking at shows of a similar ilk before they make it to the bracket, first of all, how many shows in a division? It sounds like we could have 4, or we could have 8, or we could have 12 or 16, but now it's like, whoa, those are big divisions. I don't think it should be any more than 12, personally.
I don't think so either.
Do you have a thought between like 4, 8, and 12?
I like 8.
Yeah,
This is
me too. Well, what do you like about 8?
Yeah, it's enough that like a lot of shows are getting a chance, and like we can build out that bracket, but it means that the bracket can like start and end pretty quickly,
Mm-hmm.
which I think is rewarding.
Yeah. So then, okay, so if there's 8 shows in a division, the minimum that we've set out now is we have a division of 8. Let's say for the sake of argument, it's like adult animation, like BoJack Horseman would be in this group.
Yeah.
Just as an example, the minimum we've set out is we have 2 episodes of our show that are in this division. Mm-hmm. Here's the first 4. Here's the second 4. Mm-hmm. And then we need to decide what of those like advance. So to my mind, we kind of, I think, need to see every show twice in that.
Otherwise, I don't know. Once to determine it, then once to bracket it. Once in the bracket, you mean? Or twice before it's in the bracket?
Twice before it's in the bracket.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But it could be, here's a way we could do it, right? Well, okay, let me lay out the possibilities.
Sure.
Let's say there's 8 shows in there. One possibility is we watch shows 1, 2, 3, 4. Then next week we watch 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yep.
We've seen the first episodes of 8 shows, and we decide which one goes forward. Another option is shows 1, 2, 3, 4. Next week 5, 6, 7, 8. The next week we like have
2 versus 7.
Yeah, we've jumbled them up somehow, and maybe it's like a Swiss rounds thing where they're playing against, a show with a similar result or something. And then I guess we would have to do that 2 times in a row to cover everything. A third option is we go like shows 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then a third episode where like the best 4 get their second episode.
Yeah. And then of the 4, we pick a 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Gut check. I like that one the most. Sorry, video version. I am lounging. Happy Mother's Day.
I like that one too because it doesn't like keep us in the division for longer than we need to be.
Precisely. That's what I'm
thinking. Okay, great. So we're in the division for 3 weeks at a time. Every show in the division is getting 1 or 2 chances, depending on if it advances from this kind of like initial pool to that second part. So let me make a note of that. We have kind of some structural things here. So within the division process, there's kind of a first one of our episodes, which is shows A, B, C, and D. Yeah. Episode 2 would be shows E, F, G, and H. Mm-hmm. And then episode 3 is the best 4. I like that. And then of those, we pick 1 to go to the bracket. Does that feel right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
1 goes to the bracket. Okay. Great. Now, the question from there, which is also going to determine total shows talked about, is how many divisions we want there to be. We have a list of 64 shows right now, which would be 8 divisions. So we could just take this list and do it. We could do a smaller amount. We could do a larger amount. Do you have a sense of like of that, like total divisions or total number of shows covered.
Do you know how long 8 divisions would take?
So what we've just determined is a division takes 3 weeks.
Okay. 24 weeks, half a year.
Right. And then if you toss in, like we do Trek Chat sometimes, it's probably more like 3/4 of a year to do 8 divisions. Yeah.
Wow. Wow. That's a lot of TV. I don't hate that. My only thing is I don't this bracket that we are being given does not reflect a broad meta.
Sure.
I love this bracket and it's a wonderful starting point, but I think it was not designed to be a broad meta. I think it was designed to be an anime centric meta with some other Western stuff switched in, if I'm being honest. And we can only have so many anime brackets.
It was like individual suggestions, and I think it makes sense that people are going to champion. To me, it makes sense that people are going to champion anime, like more so.
Yeah,
but
of course,
yeah.
So I think this many shows, 8 divisions, is good. I just want to make sure that they're broad.
Okay, got it. So you like the number, but we might do some swaps for what's covered from it.
I do.
Okay. Okay, great. Yeah, I like 8 as well. Because that then leads us to a single elimination thing. Or however we want to do the bracket when we get to 8, but 8 is a good number of finalists, I think.
Yeah.
So how many total shows do we want to consider during the season? It's 64. How many shows do we want to end up in the bracket? We said 8. The bracket process then would be 1, 2, 3, basically 3 weeks for that, like 3 or 4 weeks for that, which I think is good. So the whole season would be like 27 weeks of podcasts. Does that we like that?
I do. Does that means though that in theory the winner is the next season?
Right. That's a good question. I think so. Yeah.
I think if we like it enough, it's really survived that much of a gauntlet, then it deserves to be covered. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I like this.
Great. All right. So to recap, there are in Toon Couch Toon Madness, we're starting with the division phase. 8 divisions. Battle in the scene of battle. In each of the 8 divisions. This is like a tournament arc. We're doing the anime tournament arc. And then you're going to find out in 3 episodes from now, we've destroyed the whole thing. And there's just the protagonist show that is going to fight the villain show.
Of course.
No, we're going to do the tournament arc for real. The first time a tournament arc has ever been completed. Okay. 8 divisions. 8 shows per division. The division structure is episode 1 will be the first 4 shows. Episode 2 will be the second 4 shows. Episode 3 will be the best 4. One of those will go to, will become a finalist for this season. I think it would be fun, and you tell me what you think of this. In those preliminary episodes, like the A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, we could each pick one to send to the best 4 from the division.
Oh, that's cool. What if we have the same one?
Then we could decide like well, I wanted to do yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm into that.
Okay. So each host picks one from the prelim episodes to go to the division. Whatever this is called, the division round. I don't know. Terminology. Okay, cool. Great. And then the division winners will feed into a sort of finalist bracket or other process. Like maybe that's a Swiss rounds process or a whatever. There's only 8, so it wouldn't be that hard to figure that out.
Yeah. I like that. Top 8, best of 3.
Yeah. Cool. Okay, so we can talk now about what's going to be in the divisions in the season.
Yeah.
So kind of last big picture question is, to what extent do we want to decide the divisions now versus decide them as the season goes on?
I think this process takes a long time. So
Yeah,
I think
I agree.
we make our first division maybe now, or like a division right now.
Great. I like that.
So that we have something to do next week. And then the next division gets decided as we work on that.
Yeah, I like that. I think that gives listeners a chance as the season goes on to be like, oh, you should do this group, or maybe there's like more recommendations that aren't here. Yeah. Okay, cool. So we should do that. So let me list the shows that are in this list, and then we can sort of talk about like what jumps out at us, and what we want to piece together into Division 1.
To quote a famous cartoon, Steven Universe, here comes a thought. Maybe the winner, if it's a 15-minute show that's like 20 episodes, can get paired with another with the second place. I'm just thinking way down the line.
Sure, yeah. If the show's short enough, you're saying?
Yeah, exactly. Because I'm just lamenting if like I don't want us to be like, well, we can't. I'm just thinking about this like in the longer term. If a show has like really short episodes, then it's like we could watch 4 episodes of it, or we watch 2 and like whatever came in second. If it like doesn't feel like it has that kind of coverage juice, this is something to discuss later. Just thinking about.
No, I think that's a valid thing to talk about now. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it's like what defines a good show for this?
Yeah,
we like to talk about meat on the bone, but like this is animated. It's kind of a different calculus.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, here's the list: Adventure Time, After the Rain, After War Gundam X, Aim for the Ace, Armored Trooper Votoms, Assassination Classroom, Baby Steps, Beavis and Butthead, Bokurano, Castlevania, Clannad, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Cowboy Bebop, Cross Game, Daria. The DC Animated Universe is a line item here, which includes many shows underneath it: Batman the Animated Series, Superman the Animated Series, New Batman Adventures, Batman Beyond, Static Shock, Zeta Project, which I don't even know what that is, Justice League, and Justice League Unlimited. Fang of the Sun, Dougram, Final Space, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, From the New World, Future Boy Conan, Genkutsuo, Gankutsuo, thank you. Ghost in the Shell. There's multiple Ghost in the Shell series there. Heidi, Girl of the Alps. Hey Arnold. Invader Zim. Kaiji. King of the Hill. Kino's Journey. Kipo and the Wonder Beasts. Looney Tunes. Macross. Mobile Suit Gundam. Turn A Gundam. My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. Nana. Orin High School Host Club. Outlaw Star. Overman King Gainer. Pantheon. Paranoia Agent. Pat Labor. Ping Pong the Animation. Planetes. Princess Tutu. Regular Show. Revolutionary Girl Utena. Rose of Versailles. Scavenger's Reign. She-Ra and the Princess of Power. Shingetsutan. Help me again.
Tsukihime.
Tsukihime.
Tsukihime. Yep.
Shingetsutan Tsukihime. Space Brothers, Space Dandy, Space Runaway Ideon, Ideon,
Ideon.
Ideon. I'm feeling like an Ideon with some of these pronunciations.
You're doing great. You're doing fantastic.
SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob SquarePants, Steven Universe, Tatami Galaxy, The Big O, The 12 Kingdoms, Tron Uprising, Tuca and Bertie, Vinland Saga, Vision of Escaflowne. And then very helpfully over in column C, Emrys has tagged these with genres that they are related to. So that could be a place where we could start thinking about divisions. But did anything jump out at you from that list that is like a thread you want to follow?
Well, yeah, I think Emrys had mentioned to me, she asked me if I watched Armored Trooper Bottoms, and I didn't, but I listened to the Great Gundam Project's coverage of it many years ago, and I'm like aware of some of its bigger reveals towards the end. So she was saying, like, I'm not so sure how confident I feel in recommending that now, knowing that one of you, like, basically knows where it goes. Because a lot of Bottoms is like, here's a setup, here's a show, and then, like, the back third of the show kind of flips that. I mean, I don't know anything about it specifically. I'm actually happy keeping it on here because the stuff I know is, like, so vague. And I've been so interested in watching it that I would be more than willing to engage with it, even though one of us wouldn't have the explicit element of surprise. So I'm noting that. And then I've watched some of these shows in their entirety. And so I'm gonna unfortunately just be coming to some of these in SoView. You know, we both watched Steven Universe. I've watched Tatami Galaxy. Vision of Escalfone is one of my favorite shows that's known. Utena is one of my favorite shows. Pat Labor, I've watched the movies. Paranoid Agent, I've watched. It's quite a lot of them. Turn A Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam, I've watched twice. Like, and that just, it's a question of, like, do we want to revisit stuff that one of us has seen? And I don't want to say no, because, like, what do we just take out Mobile Suit Gundam because I've seen it? That doesn't seem fair to you, someone who deserves to engage with it and has never really, like, gone into Gundam. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, we've done many seasons of the main feed where one of us has seen the show before. But when we do that, it's sort of like, but we know we want to cover it because the person who's seen it before is like, oh, either it would be meaningful to me to witness you watch it and react to it, or I want to revisit it, or I know that I have stuff to say. So it's hard to make a rule or like a judgment sight unseen of, like, we want to talk about shows that one of us has seen. But, you know, for example, like on this list, I've seen Assassination Classroom.
Yep.
And I love that show. It's really fun. I would enjoy experiencing you, like, watch the first episode. I'm not confident that I would take it forward. Because, like, I don't really want to do a chat season about Assassination Classroom. So, like, is that okay? Is it okay to have shows in the division process just to be like, we got to kind of say our piece on them and get a taste of them? Because really, like, most of the shows, half of the shows that we cover in this season, we will only watch one episode of.
Yeah.
And so it's sort of like, there's some reason we're doing that. We're doing that because we want to get, like, a broad view. What was that thing in the OA?
Overview.
An overview. We want to get an overview of animated television. So I think in that sense, it's okay to have some shows that one of us has seen, just to be like, here's our chance to talk about Assassination Classroom, and then we probably won't ever cover it in our life. But also, if we're seeing a show that we've seen before and it's like I don't even really want to do that with that show. Then I don't think we have to. That's my thought. But I'm
Yeah.
curious if you have thoughts related to that.
Yeah, I think if you don't like, if you're like, we can only include stuff that we haven't seen, it ends up making the bracket look really weird and like hyper specific and weirdly unfocused.
Yeah.
I think for the sake of SEO, it's like we should still have episodes about these classics, even if they don't make it. We can see it's important to pay lip service. This is also a love letter this season to cartoons.
Yeah, and I think there is some value, like to your point of if we did like a mecha anime division, it's sort of like, well, let's consider the shows in this genre alongside kind of like the titans of the genre, or the like ones that belong in the division. Mm-hmm. And if like a different show that neither of us have seen can pull its weight against a classic and progress, that's compelling to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I like that. Okay, so anything jump out at you as like a division that you would want to explore?
I mean, I'm always down to cover like Saturday morning cartoons.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Or if you want to call it the, R.I.P. Ted Turner, the Cartoon Network Power Hour.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a great place to start.
Okay. So what are some shows in the list or outside the list that say that to you?
That's your Courage the Cowardly Dog. That's your... Was DC... No, DC Animated. That was WB. Mm-hmm. Powerpuff Girls, which may or may not be on here. Regular show.
It's not, but I think we should do it.
Yeah. Regular show, Adventure Time. Also, does Powerpuff Girls go in a shoujo block?
It's more of a shoujo, yeah, potentially, yeah.
Cartoon Network shows. That's like the first one I go to. Teen Titans, Totally Spies, Adventure Time, Gumball. That era is like kind of fun to me to start with.
Okay.
Fosters.
Yep. Okay, yeah. So let's do the division that's like Cartoon Network. Do we want to say like it was a Cartoon Network show? Is that important to us?
I don't know if it has to be, but I mean, for the sake of it, we can find 8 that are that.
Okay. We'll just start there, but then we might slightly expand that as we're talking about it. So
for sure.
Okay, so Division 1 is sort of a Cartoon Network daytime. That's what I'm going to call it. Cartoon Network daytime. You got your Courage the Cowardly Dog, which I've found kind of creepy when I was a kid.
It's a horror show.
Yep, it worked. Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends.
Iconic. Love it.
I did not know who Will Chamberlain was, so I didn't get it. But now
Coco. I do. Cheese is very millennial coded.
Cheese. Let's grab ones off this list that fit the bill before we go beyond the list, I think.
Okay.
So, do we want to toss Adventure Time into this group?
Yeah. Steven Universe can also be in this group.
Okay. Adventure Time.
Regular show.
Yep. Regular show. Adventure Time. Courage, we did.
Fosters. Did you put Fosters?
Yeah, Fosters is on there. Harold and Invader Zim were Nickelodeon, right?
Correct.
Okay. Panty regular show we got on there. Yep. Okay. All right. I think we can add. We got space to add 3, and I think that is cool. I think we're allowed to do that because it's our show. So consult the list of Cartoon Network programs.
Powerpuff Girls, Teen Titans, and Samurai Jack.
I like Powerpuff Girls going into a hypothetical future shoujo division.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
So
Duck Dodgers? No. That's crazy. No, I know. I want to make you happy. I know. Definitely Teen Titans, definitely Samurai Jack. I'll give you the third one.
Let's see. Hold on. Duck Dodgers can go wherever Looney Tunes ends up, I think.
Oh, sure. Sure.
Samurai Jack, Teen Titans. You don't want to consider Teen Titans alongside like DCAU?
Oh, superhero stuff? Oh no, do that. I keep forgetting. We can put these things into other brackets. Dexter's Lab?
Yeah, so Dexter's Lab is an interesting one.
Trans rights
for Mandark. Let's see. Former programming. Okay, I'm looking at Cartoon Network shows. I like Dexter's Lab. I mean, where in the world is Johnny Bravo these days? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ed, Edd and Eddy. Any interest?
Yeah. There's interest.
Or Whatever Happened to Robot Jones.
I had a feeling you don't want to include that one. I think that one's interesting. Maybe it's worth covering. Not enough people talk about it.
I think about it all the time. Because I'm like, when I was a kid watching the commercials, I was like, I didn't even know Robot Jones
left.
But that's the point.
That's so funny.
Okay, so I think we should each get to just put one in, and then we have to agree on the third one. So I want to put in Whatever Happened to Robot Jones.
Okay.
So what's the one that you just want to put in?
In addition to what we just talked about?
Having not added anything that we just talked about.
I want to put in Samurai Jack.
Great. Samurai Jack is in there. So now we get one more Cartoon Network daytime show. And there's a lot to choose from.
Did you know that they eventually got rid of the Microsoft Sam voice for Robot Jones because Microsoft didn't give them permission to use that? So they replaced it with a kid doing a robot voice.
That's really funny.
That's so interesting. Let's get Ed and Eddy in there.
Okay. Ed and Eddy. I think the ones in consideration are Ed and Eddy, Dexter's Lab.
Oh.
Codename Kids Next Door.
Fuck.
Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Oh my god.
I think those are the four.
Think about it in the context of which one could you hypothetically see going? Like, you're drafting right now. You're kind of drafting a team.
Okay, so what did I say? Dexter's Lab, Codename Kid Next Door, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, and what was the other one? Ed and Eddy. My mom didn't allow me to watch Ed and Eddy because she thought it was stupid. So I watched it at my dad's house over the summer, and it was stupid. Yeah.
I really like Ed and Eddy. Man, I would record episodes of that on a tape recorder and listen to the audio from Ed and Eddy episodes.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be that. Let's do it. We've got.
The show is very, very dear and special to me. Yeah.
All right. And I've jotted down these other show titles so that in the future, if they make sense in a division, they can come in. But for now, we've got Division 1, Adventure Time, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Ed, Edd and Eddy, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, Regular Show, Samurai Jack, Steven Universe, and Whatever Happened to Robot Jones.
Yes! This is so good! Oh, we did it right.
So I have two questions before we leave the listener with this and get them excited for the beginnings of Toon Couch, Toon Madness. One, we just watched a bunch of Adventure Time episodes for Chatz last month. Do we just watch those again from the beginning, to be fair, with like our what we said earlier?
I don't want to watch them again. I want to watch more Adventure Time. But it isn't. I don't know if it's fair.
Yeah. I think we got to watch the...
I'll watch the pilot again. We use the pilot, the first one again. I mean, that first episode's fucking fantastic. And then we can watch some more from season
1. But if we're only watching one episode, that was our... So we should just watch the pilot, right?
Yeah, it's a very good pilot. All right.
Okay. And then second thing, how do we determine which shows are in which of the 2 first episodes?
Randomize it.
Great. Okay. I will pull up a random number from 1 through 8. All right. Here's a number generator.
Unless there's any thematic reason to pair certain ones together, which I don't think there really is.
I think randomizing it feels good to me.
Everything's going to play.
All right. So first show is Whatever Happened to Robot Jones.
Yes. Yes.
Roll 3 is Ed, Ed, and Eddie.
Okay. Amazing.
Okay. Give me another random number. 7 is Steven Universe.
Oh, wow.
This is going to be a weird chunk. And then 5, 2, 3, 4 is Regular Show.
Okay.
So for next week, in our first episode of Toon Couch, Toon Madness, we are watching 1 episode each of Ed, Ed, and Eddie, Regular Show, Steven Universe, and Whatever Happened to Robot Jones. And then the following week, we're watching 1 episode each of Adventure Time, Courage the Cowardly Dog, Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and Samurai Jack.
Fabulous. Oh my God, that's going to be a crazy week. Can you write these down somewhere?
Yeah, it is written down, and I will also log it in our Airtable organizational system. Yeah. But yeah, all right. So if folks have thoughts out there for divisions that they would want to see, we want this to be, I think, an interactive process of assembling the divisions as the season goes on. Yeah. If you have thoughts about the structure of the season, let us know that as well. But for now, what you can expect for the next 3 weeks is those 2 weeks of considering these Cartoon Network daytime shows, and then a 3rd week where we're taking our 4 favorites. They're going head to head with their second episodes, and then one will emerge as a finalist for this season, Toon Couch, Toon Madness.
Word. Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. All right. So I think it's time to wrap this baby up and tell people, Alan, where they can find you on the internet besides this show.
You can find me on Bluesky or Bluesky at Ibrahim, AIBRAHIM. And my other main podcast gig is The Creature Quorum, which is found on scalemedia.com. Speaking of cartoons, we talk about Pokemon. Mostly the video games, but sometimes the anime, sometimes the movies. And we've had guests on like Magellan. And that's it. No, plenty of people have been on. It's been going for quite a while. I love doing it. It's my Pokemon podcast with my pal Six. We also do the Garnet Wager, which we're recording a new episode of soonish. And that's a Korean game show discussion podcast. Those are my 2 other main pod gigs and my social media presence. What about you?
You can find me on another podcast that I do with my friend Justin called Super Smash Echoes, where we play video games related to the Super Smash Brothers franchise. Super Smash Echoes, check it out. You can also find me on Bluesky, not.magellan.bsky.social, and on Ghost at not-that-magellan.ghost.io.
Yum. You want to give us the plug
zone? That's Chatzums time. Yeah, or plug zone time. Yeah, I'll do that. If you want to get in touch with the show, you can do so in a few different ways. You can email us at chatzpod@gmail.com with questions, comments, concerns, suggestions. If you have an idea for a division, if you have a proposal for like, hey, I want to be on for a shoujo episode, specifically these 4 shows, heck, I mean, why not? Let us know what you want to do and we'll get you on here to do it. You can, did I say the email? chatzpod@gmail.com, CHATZPOD is our email. Yes. You can also follow us on Bluesky at chatzpod.bsky.social. We're on YouTube at Chatz, a television podcast. And we're also everywhere else that you would find podcasts in audio form. So wherever you find the show, give it a little like ski, a little share ski, a little binky donkey do, the things, the internet stuff. Mm-hmm. You can also support the show with money. Give us some money at patreon.com/chatspod. Again, CHATZPOD. $1 a month gets you onto the Discord where where all of this show suggestion process took place. $3 a month gets you twice monthly bonus episodes. Sometimes it's us piloting shows or doing commentaries of movies or talking about whatever. $5 a month gets you thanked right here at the end of every episode. Thank you to Stefan, 6, Noel, Nick of the Brothers at Infinite War, MP, my mom, Marcus, Lee, Kyrie, girlfriend of the podcast, Kelly, Justin, Jen, Felicia, Emrys, and thank you again, Emrys. Huge thank you for compiling folks' recommendations and giving us those genre tags and stuff. Super helpful. Emily, Arthur, and fiance of the podcast, Amanda. Thank you, folks, for supporting the show. Thank you once again to Camilla at Camillastrator for our podcast art. Now it's time, Alan, for our chatzums, for little yummy things to chew on between now and next time. What is or are your chatzums for this week?
Wait, should we pull from the cup?
Oh, yeah. They're not in the cup, though, so I'm going to pull up a number generator again.
The hypothetical cup, yeah.
I'll do like kind of a whoop, one of these little motions. Our patrons, $3 a month and up, get to suggest bonus content. And we have 3 possibilities to pull from here for our second bonus episode of May. Mm-hmm. Let's do a random number. Oh, yeah, I'm going to pull from the thing and go like this. And whoa, it's the number 2, which is, amazing. This is Emrys's suggestion. So a little reward for doing such hard work. Emrys says, please check out Star Trek, the 25th anniversary adventure game.
Oh, fuck.
Please check out Star Trek, the 25th anniversary adventure game.
Yeah, if you say it again. Can you say it one more time, actually?
Please check out Star Trek, the 25th anniversary adventure game.
You got it. Gladly.
We will.
I've heard it's great. Okay. You want my chatsum? Is that what you want from me? You want my filthy chat? We recorded 2 days ago and you want another chatsum from me? You're always asking for things.
Yeah.
You're always requesting things from me.
Yeah.
You're always bugging me. Oh my god, you're always bugging me. Go hug your mom.
Oh.
If you have a mom and you have a good relationship with her, go give her a big old hug. If you can. If you can't do that, go text her. Write her a letter. She'll love if you write her a letter. Are you kidding me? Actually, that's the chat. So go write your mom a letter. You ingrate, you degenerate. If you, again, this asterisk, if you have that kind of relationship with your mom. If you don't, then write it to a woman in your life who's very special to you.
Love it.
I know we're recording this on Mother's Day to be coming out the next Sunday, but I'm living in the world of mothers today. The mother world. The mothership.
The world of mothers. The world of mothers.
John, what is your chatsum for this week?
Good question. My chatsum. There's this really cool song that I came across. This band that did a Tiny Desk recently, I guess. And I really like this one song of theirs that I saw. Let me find the name of it. The band is called Forager,
Okay.
all capital letters. The song is called Pomeranian. And they also have this song called Haiku Nursery Rhyme, which I really like. Looks like both of those are off of a very recent album from February called Even a Child Can Cover the Sun with a Finger.
Whoa.
And what I like about both those songs is they do a lot of cool stuff with tempo. So like in Pomeranian, the verses are very fast, and then it suddenly like slows down for the chorus. And there's a lot of kind of complex rhythmic chord progression stuff, but it's all sitting underneath like a very digestible, airy sort of pop sound. So I would suggest Forager. I've enjoyed what I've heard from them so far.
Very cool. I'll check them out. I'll watch that Tiny Desk.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to Magellan for being the big cartoon pen drawing hand to my recalcitrant little animated character on the page, trying to run off the page, but coming to accept that I can't leave the confines of my creator's domain. And thank you all so much for listening to Chatz. Stay cartoony.